Well, it just started bloody raining. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a little catch up. As you can see, new floor in the shed, and we are in the process at the minute of putting a new roof in. We're gone for galvanised, and we've got half of it done, and we've got the other half to do. We had some skylights here, which is why there's no wood there, but it's going on top of the original wood, with, you know, like waterproof membrane thingy and all that lot. So there's still half to do. Anyway, Nibbler, he's had his half fairing conversion. That whatever we call it, the downy bit, has been cut off. I've just Dremeled it with a disc at the minute, then made some brackets up either side out of an old fairing panel. I've put the you probably won't be able to see it actually, but I've put a oil cooler bypass pipe in, and went to work on him the other day. He's fine, so I might be out tomorrow morning with the Hell's Arseholes, or at least a contingent of the Hell's Arseholes. So yeah, so I can actually use it. Nibbler. Nice. I've got his fork seals and bushings, and I've also got for my ABBA stand, which I've had it's over 10 years, and it's fit every bike I've had. I had to buy one fitting kit for the Aprilia, and that was it, but it's done the GPZ, the Gold Wing, all sorts, and it does Nibbler. But I just bought a kit the other day that you slide onto this when you fit it, and it gets the front wheel off the ground as well, which will make it way more stable than trying to stick a jack under the sump, because I really don't like doing that. I have got that ABBA stand as well, which you probably can't see very well because now the skylights are gone in the shed. It's very dark in here, but lighting will be sorted out when the roof is done. I did have that oh, hang on. I did have the ABBA stand front part, but it's not very good, to be honest. You know, especially if you've got a bike with an awkward shaped sump, it doesn't feel very stable. So I got the proper I stink. I got the proper ABBA stand thingy. So that's where I'm at the minute. Everything's all moved about, and it's a fucking mess. And that was a clear bench at some point in its distant history. It will be again one day. I've just bought a little shelf here, floating little shelf. I've just got to do up all the screws properly, to hang the power tools and stuff on, instead of, you know, leaving them on benches. And then the idea is, what I might do is I might be able to put the battery chargers and stuff on top of there. Who knows? So anyway, we're in a bit of an arsehole state at the moment, because obviously constructionage. But yes, I just thought I'd give you a little catch up. So there you go. If I do go out tomorrow, if it stays dry, I might just stick the old chin cam on and waffle a load of bollocks. But until then, I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. Yes, lovely. Well, I was going to do Nibbler's fork seals this morning. Hello, Phyllis. But you can see I've got a man in. Yes, he's fitting a window to the shed. I'm trying to tidy up my bench. And yes, we've got Arthur Scuttle on the job. Yes, he's never happy without a hammer in his hand. Alright, Thor, calm it down. Oh, there's lots of flatulence and background noise. I've had my ABBA stand probably 12 to 15 years, and it's fit every bike I've had. I've only ever had to buy one adapter kit, so it fits in the swing arm pivot, and that was for the Aprilia. Now, I want to do the fork seals on Slinkus Minkus, and one thing I hate doing is jacking up the front of the engine to get the wheel off the ground. However, ABBA do a kit that basically slides onto here, and it's two arms, a front support arm and a rear arm that goes alongside the swing arm with a ratchet strap. Don't poo yourself. With a ratchet strap, and then you put the ratchet strap around the swing arm and you jack basically the front of the bike up, literally just enough to get the front wheel off, get the forks out. And that to me sounded like a much more stable option. So I'm just going to have a look in the boxes and see what we've got. Fork seals. Nibblers fork seals. As you can see, this is my new ABBA thing. I set it up. So you've got a front arm to sort of support it, and a rear arm, which is supposed to put a strap on. Their strap is just like a pressure strap. And you're supposed to be able to do all this on your own. You get the back end of the bike up. But then it says in the instructions, oh yeah, if you push the back end of the bike down, you can tighten that strap up and all this lot. It's meant for a swing arm with bobbins. So what I've done is, in the eccentric cam, shove this nice brass rod all the way through. So that's nice and secure. But what I ended up doing was, just for safety, sticking a jack under it with a little block of wood on it. So the forks are off, drainage occurring. That's the left one, which was draining badly. Now, you know, the last time I did the fork seals on Nibbler, I didn't have a good time of it. Fucking hated it. But this time, I have a system. I couldn't get the damper rod to stay still internally, and I have the proper Kawasaki tools to hold it. But genius bumhole me, and thanks to the generosity of Mr. Steve with some impact gear, basically what I've got here is an extension, a Kawasaki Spark plug spanner, box spanner, and then another box spanner which is the same diameter as the head of the damper rod. So basically jam that in, stick umpher dumpher in the end there, and piece of piss. Now all I've got to do, take the dust seal out, the seal which will slide hammer out, and then I've got new bushings. So I'll get this apart when a robin's not trying to firebomb me, and I'll show you all the new bushings and all that lot. But yes, very successful method, lots easier than using the Kawasaki toolage. So there it is. I don't know what size that is, you'll have to work it out yourself. I think it's around a 24. So this is an old box spanner I had lying around. It was just pure chance that they all fit. That's a Kawasaki plug spanner, goes into there. That's the socket that goes onto there, and you don't need that much of an extension, you only need about that much. And that just whocks in there, steadies it, and Mr. Buzzy helicopter. Oh, it's the police. I wonder if now is the time to turn off the Pornhub download of Japanese schoolgirls. The joy of editing. I've got oil all over the place, but there you can see top and bottom bushes, which are the grey one and the copper one, and the seating wash off for the seal, and the seal, which you can see has got loads of shit round it, which is just shit that's got in it. So I'm just going to have to drain these for a minute. Just put them there and be nice and eco-friendly. Yes, fuck 'em. Okay, chaps and chapesses, I just thought I'd show you this. This is the damper rod which sits in the fork, and it basically pokes down the bottom end there, and then this sits on the end. Now do not try to put this in the fork leg like that, because here he is, he's working on my roof. I'm in the middle of a description, and as usual I got distracted. There's gonna be a montage. Don't put that in the fork leg like that, because this doesn't go through the hole in the bottom. Ask me how I know. So you shove that through first.
How do you know?
Good, because I've fucked it up once before. Once, twice, 3 pies and gravy. Bernard is putting me a new roof on the shed because he's lovely. He's done the floor, which is very lovely, and I'm just christening it with a bit of fork oil. Oh, and the door, the bifold door. Yes, he's a very, very clever man. Yeah. Although I don't say that to his face. He's just been up to the bakery and got himself a couple of cinnamon rolls to take up on the roof with him.
Could I put my ladder here?
You can put your ladder there, my darling, as long as you promise not to fart in my face again.
I don't. Oh.
So yeah, that is the end of the damper rod. You can see what I mean about getting a box spanner to put in it. The Kawasaki tool relies on pinching the inside, and it doesn't work really, not very well. But my method works perfectly. Just bear in mind it's a very messy job, because it doesn't matter how well you drain the forks, the damper rod etc. still holds a load of shite. So yes, so that's the inside of a normal fork then. Basically you got your oil in there, and when the oil's forced through that little hole there, it dampens the thing, which is why this is called fucking damper rod. Anyway, the bolt that goes in the bottom of the fork, in the bottom of the fork leg, screws this into place. I always put a bit of thread seal on it. There is a copper sealing washer, but you don't really want fork oil pissing around your axles and then flinging onto your brakes, so I always put a little bit of thread log on there. So right, I'm going to crack on with doing this, and I suppose while I'm no, Jim, turn it off. And then this is my Slinky Glide kit from Wemoto, and we may as well do this in one section of badly unedited video. So here we go. So what have we got in the Slinky Cum kit? Everything, look. We've got a sticker, nice. So all that scrap. Basically, bottom bushings, top bushings. You'll see how these are lovely and silver and sexual, and you'll see how mine have worn. They're basically worn. If you see copper on them, they're knackered. Some of them are copper from new, but you'll soon tell whether they're knackered. And these are just split like that, a bit like a piston ring really, big piston ring, to enable you to slippage them on. Obviously these are going to get cleaned very thoroughly. New seals, new dust seals, nice. Fitting the new seals I find easy enough anyway. Basically I'm going to replace the bushes, bung the sanction back in, tie. Honestly, it's like there's work going on here. Bolt this back in, and then I can put the seal in. And basically what I use is a little bit of PVC piping, which is the same diameter as this, to make sure that it sits home and then you don't damage the seal. Never ever put any pressure on the inner lip or anything like that, or get it in skew width, because you will fuck it. And and we've got come on you cock, we've got circlips which clip into that groove just there. The ones in Nibbler are new, but I've got new now, so I may as well just fit it in. So that's what I'm getting on with when Nobby's on the roof. It's a bit noisy to make a video. Right, that's the new bushing fitted, the new lower bushing. The damper rod has been put through the bottom of the fork, and then you'll notice on the end piece, you'll see the right hand side has a little chamfer and the left doesn't. The flat side goes up against the rod because the chamfer needs to sit in the bottom of the fork. Just a little tip to help its sealage. Okay, so that's the top bushing in. That does require a bit of gentle persuasion sometimes. Whatever you do, whatever you try and put it in with, don't mark the chromium. Right, the seal is in, the circlip is in. Make sure the circlip is seated in the groove, and then you're ready for dust cap, and basically chuck it on the bike, put some oil, put the springs, put the oil in basically. So when I've got the old dustage cap on, I'm going to put this one back on the bike, because it's a lot easier to put the caps on when these are held in the yokes. Yes, ask me how I know. But so far, job's gone good. it's been much less frustrating this time around. Fork seal's done, and I am of the opinion I'm going to get it off the arbor stand, and I've got some new coils to fit, so I think I'm going to fit those new coils. I have got a very slight oil weep still. It's not the oil union from the cooler. Now get down, fatty, because it's dripping there. It might even be the sump. I do have, as mentioned before, still a very slight oil leak. Don't worry about all this shite on the exhaust. I think I may, until I investigate further, I've just sprayed this down so it's wet. I'm guessing it might be the oil O-ring in the water pump, which is here. It has an O-ring on the shaft. It might even be two O-rings actually, and it's designed to separate the oil and water if there is a catastrophic failure or anything like that. It's designed to leak, and it will leak coolant as well. There's like a blow-by hole, if I've understood it correctly. Nope, probably not. Anyway, I fitted the new coils. Yes, professional camera work. So I've just sprayed it down with some carb spray cleaner because that will evaporate, and then it will give me a better idea of where it's coming from. But my initial suspicions are, I thought it was the sump. It isn't the sump, it's too high up. The only other place it can come from, and I don't see any evidence of it, is the oil ring on the alternator, which Nibbler never had. It was missing. But what happens there is oil will track along this there, and so you think it's like a split in the cases, but it's not. It was that. I'm pretty sure I did replace finger touch the oil ring on the water pump. I know I resealed the pump and all that lot, but I don't know. I mean, if it's that, it's that. It just means dropping the coolant, pulling the pump out, replacing the O-ring, which I might even have, and whacking it back together. But if I was going to take the cooling system apart, I'm going to repaint this pipe, and I've seen a really nice colour-coded Samco coolant hose kit which may just go on. I don't know yet. I did enjoy my ride out on him on the weekend though. It's one of those. Oh yeah, and I've tightened my rack because Mark did notice my top box was wobbling. My top box will wobble a little bit because it's not a fantastic fit on the rack. It's a little bit loose at the front, but he noticed the whole lot was going like that. So I've just gave the little bolts a tighten. But what I might do is just add a little lock nut behind them there as well, just for double security. But fork seals are done, looking lovely, and that all actually went back all together. One fork was easier to split than the other because the box spanner I used to go down the end, it started to just round the end off. I mean, I could have just ground it down, but anyway, got there in the end, and unbeknownst to me, one of the fork tops had started to cross thread a little bit. So anyway, that's sorted. So yes, I've done it, but I did manage to get a bit of fork oil everywhere and shit like that. So yeah, hopefully they're done and they won't cause much more bother. Definitely needed the bushings, but we'll see. I had this problem with the GPZ as well. So yeah, so I'm going to leave Nibbler here like this at the minute, and then I shall have an investigation when I've got a bit more time. But I've had the day off today, so it just gave me the chance to do the fork seals, so I thought I would have a look at the coils while I was here. But I did just notice when we were parked up at the calf, literally the tiniest little spot of oil. I thought, yeah, okay, it's not the unions I've replaced, they're oil tight. It's about any fucking thing that is. So yeah, I'm just guessing the O-ring at the back of the pump. But yes, when I've got a bit more time, I'll investigate, because I will have to take off the slave to get good access, and then just a ring of bolts. Obviously we need to drain it as well, but you know, it's nothing we haven't done before. You're always giving this bike, it's very charitable.